Aloha! Welcome to Energy Centers. I welcome you in this episode about the Indigo Energy Center, which I am familiar with in toning it with the syllable woo or woo. Anyway, it is commonly known as the third eye, and different or kind of in contrast to the other energy centers, it is rather located in the center of our head, and it governs also the head, of course, the brain, our bodily expression, including our energy. So, as a reminder, this is a soda light, a natural example for a rather healthy and aligned indigo center, and we may also place it, for instance, during meditation or just shortly before sleep on our forehead to facilitate an alignment in the indigo energy center. Now, as many of you may know, indigo is where the intellect and intuition is balanced in all moments. And so when we keep thinking a lot or are propelling concepts or constructs rather that are not quite practical or too theoretic, that are inefficient in energy, we are shifting our indigo towards the left hemisphere, which is representing the intellect and the male side, or the right side of the body. And as I have somewhat covered in the other videos about the other energy centers, usually before we translate anything into thought, because thought is that a translating mechanism, or well, really something to cite or overview in this indigo color, what our actual communications are. Before we do that, we usually process most of our information through the energy center of our choice, which, for instance, I am processing through blue, being a political focused individual, and others are processing through red or yellow or purple. As usual, speaking of purple, let's hold an awareness of our direction in our moments. Let's appreciate and acknowledge ourselves. Let's be nurturing to ourselves, and then we can extend these qualities outside, so to speak, although there is no outside. Now, the importance of the third eye, or woo, or indigo, is that not only is this where all sense data is fed into the brain and organized into this picture of our reality, this, well, almost this control seat of our reality, of our perception really, and how every moment flows into it. But it's also where we can manage that, we can direct this whole perception, this whole it's not quite an image, but it's in every moment. Well, it is a momentary overview, so to speak, of what we perceive in this reality, not just physically, but also with our inner senses. So, by aligning indigo, we enable ourselves again to move our attention, our awareness with the inner eye towards something else. We may still incorporate this whole, this overview of what are we doing with our body, with our movements and so on. But for instance, you may use your attention and move through some material and open up to your imagination and allow for some resolution or some picture, some image to build, and that may give you a lot of impressions or information about the inner structure of this material, for instance. Or you may move your attention to the universe, like it's a form of really well, building a package through your inner senses, through our inner senses, um, into an image when when we project towards something. So this can be done with the universe, this can be done within our body, and in my perception, indigo is also very important for flow. So by having a steady and stable indigo, we may also stabilize our flow and the succession of our actions, how we move our attention, and how that affects reality creation through all moments. And this is why not always being in thought is quite important. Now, as I said, the solar light is very important and shows us natural tones of indigo. And there is a hand position which I want to share with you, and I will go into a more detailed overview of hand positions in the future. But anyway, for this, of course, relax yourself, be grounded, clasp or bring together the middle fingers and the thumbs, the tip of these fingers on both hands. Breathe relaxedly and picture one moment. Picture an indigo line going through the middle finger outward, and through the thumb picture purple and pink, and through this we may energize our indigo center. However, I've come to know a different position which might be more helpful in aligning indigo, and it goes like this. Basically, bring your fingers. This is a bit dangerous what I'm doing here, but I'm kidding. Bring your fingers towards your palms, and the thumbs touching the index fingers, and imagine aligning indigo, finding the center in this now between your intuition and intellect. And of course, I want to mention indigo being the most creative color, of course governing also our nose, our eyes, our ears, especially hearing, also including inner hearing. We may use indigo also as a symbol to direct our inner senses, for instance, within our body. And indigo is also being used to read energy by, or actually everyone, but to various degrees of objective awareness. And so it is also an important color for healers, because it is important to, well, to be sure of what you read and to translate it correctly or accurately within our Indigo Center. Now, as I said, the Indigo flow may bundle or bring together all senses and our whole direction, and of course indigo being between purple and blue is also the bridge between all our communications and our direction and awareness within physical focus. So that being said, when we engage in flow, and this is of course my bottle example, we may hold an awareness or an overview of what we are doing with our body, how we are moving the air within our breathing system, how the water moves and is going to move. So really indigo being an important color here to stabilize this physical awareness within sensory data, but also being creative in how we move, in organizing or filtering out the probable movements and choices that we are going to engage in. For this, an alignment within indigo is quite important to, in this case, also, well, I would say almost center us within this flow of time. So the inner sense of conceptual or differential time may also be widened to include a bit more than every given moment, but still staying in the present. So let's, of course, notice when we think a lot, because thinking is not designed to take away from the present, to distract us in thoughts of what has been or what will be. Let's translate also our intuition, find that inner voice, and feel the resonance in each moment. And let's organize all our communications, of course, and